no one is probably not invited to.
So I don't normally show people this. Like, whoa, no one sees this.
But he actually took us to a secret part of the bunker, to the nuclear silo, where decades ago, a real nuclear missile was stored inside.
Oh no. Jimmy, come in here.
Whoa. Wait, what is this?
Is that safe over there?
No. Wait, no, Carl, he said it's not. How bad would it be if we turned the lights off?
I mean, I actually don't know how we... Oh, dude. This is really
I can't even see anything. What's crazy is we're just getting started. The bunkers later in this video are insane. They just keep getting bigger and more expensive. But if you were going to try to build a bunker yourself, it might look like the one in this backyard. We're secretly hidden beneath our feet. It's a bunker worth $3 million. Follow me to this creepy shed. Oh. Going into a bunker someone built in their backyard. This is crazy. Whoa. This is awesome.
In terms of security, you've got like a meter of concrete above you. Other than a safe house, it is kind of a museum for my YouTube creations.
If you're wondering why this bunker is worth $3 million, it's because of this YouTuber's collection of insane and dangerous weapons.
That's backpack flamethrower.
This guy's like a real-life Tony Stark. I mean, look at this wrist-mounted rocket launcher.
Fires knives and has a taser in it.
And a machine gun with the chainsaw. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Don't break into this bunker.
You did mention fire earlier. So...
Oh gosh, wait. Bro, we're in a bunker.
You come here.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Ah! I don't know if I feel safe with this. This is terrifying. You're gonna burn your bunker down.
Do you want to go?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Insane. This guy is crazy. This would be the worst bunker in the world to rob.
Well, it's not just this bunker. There is another room.
What do you mean? I think this guy really likes digging holes. He has like a literal underground tunneling system. Whoa! Wait, this one's bigger than the other bunker. And there's one invention in here that's so dangerous, we saved it for last. Just in case. I'm gonna go over here. But first, Colin showed me a cannon that turns anything into ammunition.
I mean, we've got bread rolls for them.
Here it comes.
Okay, do it.
I'm about to do it.
Get it over.
About to have me any second. He's gonna shoot it.
Just go.
This is awesome. The whole point of a bunker is to protect you. But I can't say I felt safe once Colin pulled this out.
This is my spinning belt of knives. Don't get too close.
Oh. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Especially after he started doing this. Have you ever had a knife fall off?
No.
Alright, turn it up. You could do that without having a spinning belt of knives.
Yeah, but this is so much better. Now, Jimmy, check this out. This is a freezer way. Opposite to a microwave, so you get some feastables. You shove that in there. We've got this little thing. Right.
Whoa. He couldn't wait to show us how it worked on some feastable stuffs.
Done. That is what it seems.
Wow. Oh my gosh, frozen feastables.
That's cool, right?
Yeah. Well, literally, but as safe as Colin feels, there's no chance it compares to this island paradise. 5 minutes. million presidential bunker.
Why does it smell like cat pee?
It may not look like much, but in 1961, it was more than enough for one of the United States' most well-known presidents, JFK.
Oh my gosh. You're telling me that JFK only had this?
But yeah, now it's kind of a dome.
These are the presidential bathrooms.
You're telling me 5 mil?
But more impressive, we've got a $1 billion bunker so secure that it's the only place you could survive a nuclear extinction.
This is not very big.
I hope JFK never sees this video because he's going to be like pretty upset at all the other cool bunkers.
I have a feeling he won't.
Now let's go from the bunker of the past to the bunker of the future. Welcome to the $30 million bunker. This is a 15-story bunker. It's basically an underground skyscraper, and it's built for 75 people to survive anything.
First of all, these are armor-plated steel doors.
The doors are 2 feet thick. How many RPGs would it take to blow through this door?
Probably 3.
And if that doesn't make you feel safe, there's a sniper nest on the roof, 24-hour security, and Larry's favorite,
Guns.
oh my gosh, you're ready for an invasion.
We aren't going to let people steal our food.
Can I hold one? This bunker also has its own indoor shooting range. This is insane. Maybe this is all overkill, but if the world really did end, who wouldn't want to live here? This bunker has a hospital, an exam room, a dentist office, a pharmacy, this is jail, and 15 luxurious apartments, which we've actually seen before. Dude, I remember 5 years ago we filmed a video where we did 24 hours in this bunker. We looked so different.
I was younger.
This apartment, 15 floors underground, is nicer than most people's not bunker apartments. Washer, dryer, this is awesome. And all the other amenities on the other 14 floors.
Don't tell Chandler, though, because it might get jealous. But I think we buy one of these.
Yo, Jimmy.
Oh, what's up? Hey.
I saw this like a...
Yo, can you go check out over there? Here, you guys check that.
I'll take this room, yeah. Jimmy, I'll... take this room.
And if you're wondering what they eat down here,
This is our grocery store.
you really want this to feel like real life. This is crazy.
Y'all got bacon in a can? What kind of bunker would we get that bacon? In a can?
And if you don't want to try bacon in a can,
This is the entrance to the hydroponics.
this is one of the most important rooms in this bunker. Instead of dirt, hydroponics uses water to grow a variety of plants that would essentially produce infinite food for the residents. And finally, we made it to what could be the most protected pool in the entire world.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be honest, this bunker is at least 20 times better than every bunker we visited so far.
It had a pool, infinite food, a gym, and even an entire rock wall.
I don't know how it's gonna get better than this, but somehow there are more expensive bunkers. Let's go check them out. And now the $50 million bunker is underneath this ordinary house in this ordinary neighborhood.
But if you look 30 feet underground, you'll find one of the most expensive and most bizarre bunkers on the planet. Let's go explore it. Inside here is just a normal house, but there's a secret code to open up the elevator. Learn this because I'll get in trouble if it shows it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
And the elevator opens up. All right, you guys ready? Now we're going 3 stories underground. If you turn around, you can literally see them. This is like all the stone and cement we're going down.
So cool.
This elevator takes forever. Okay. And, oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Crazy. This $50 million bunker is designed. It looks like you're not in a bunker.
Here,
Hey, feel this carpet. Is this carpet or grass? I don't know, but it feels great. If you're forced to be trapped in a bunker for 100 years, this is probably the bunker you would choose. Because it doesn't feel like it. It looks like you're outside. They got palm trees 3 stories underground. They have a Christmas tree, even though Christmas was 5 months ago. I guess they just leave it up all year. Let's kick this bunker tour off by exploring the house that is in a bunker underneath. Oh my God. The guy who built this bunker is like 5 feet tall. Wait, Tariq, walk under it? I'm good. It's not a flag. Here we go. Oh my God. What is this place? Whoa, this is huge. This is way bigger than I thought it would be. This is so fancy. It does not feel like you're in a bunker. No, I feel like I'm in a normal house. Obviously, this bunker was designed in a way where if you had to live down here for decades, you wouldn't miss the outside world because it feels like the outside world. Bro, it literally looks like you're outside with the trees in the window. Surely if you own a $50 million bunker, you wouldn't care if I took a Diet Coke. Wait, how old is this? Oh God, Yo, wait. This expired 2 years ago. This is so bad. Hey, Google if I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Yeah, it's because we're 3 stories underground. Whoa. Yeah. Where is this? Yeah. Bro. Yeah, this is it. This is the room. Wait, is this the video where we trapped Hugo and Rain in a bunker for 100 days to win $500,000? What do you guys think of Hugo and Rain? They always fight. I like them. What if I told you that was the signal for them to come down the elevator? And they're probably going to be mad this bunker is way nicer than the one I put them in.
What the heck?
Welcome to the $50 million bunker. Hey guys, what do you think?
This is a bunker?
This is nicer than the bunker I built you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And don't drink the Diet Coke. It expired 2 years ago. Have fun.
Yeah.
Don't fight.
Don't disrespect me like that.
It's so stupid. We won't fight.
We're watching your bunker video in a bunker, in a house in the bunker below another house. How does that make you feel?
What did you just say?
Don't worry about it. Let's keep going. It didn't take long for Hugo and Rain to fall back into old habits.
It's all cute. Hugo, I promise, if this was our kitchen in the bunker, I would have cooked for you every night.
It is nice, but I still don't think you would cook.
No. Oh, my God.
Outside this house is a pool. We're still in the bunker, keep in mind. Oh, he just jumped in with socks on. So far, my only critique of this bunker, the pool could use some heat. It's pretty cool. How different would your challenge have been if you guys had a pool? Yeah. And to make this bunker even better, you guys loved our peanut butter cups so much that we decided to make an alternative version with hazelnut. They're only available for a limited time at these select retailers. So go try some before they're gone. And if you haven't already, try our peanut butter cups and tell us what you like more. They taste amazing. And obviously, it wouldn't be a hidden bunker without its own secret escape route. That's the secret exit. Not sure if I'm supposed to show it. And that brings us to last, but not least, one of $1 billion bunker, the most secure bunker on the planet. The Shining Mountain Space Force Station. This bunker is shielded by over 2,000 feet of solid granite rock and can literally withstand the most destructive weapons ever devised by mankind. What happens if we run down this? Don't ask Jim. They'll shoot you. Oh, I won't run down the tunnel then. All right, let's do that. Now, usually, this is where we'd have a 3D map showing just exactly how this bunker is laid out. However, this bunker is so top secret.
I need you to put a lens cap on this camera.
Okay, I legally cannot show you anything like that from here on out. And if somehow you make it past the... However, this bunker would have a 3D map showing just exactly how this bunker is laid out. However, this bunker is so top secret.
I need you to put a lens cap on this camera.
Okay, I legally cannot show you anything like that from here on out. And if somehow you make it past the guards...
Can I hold your gun or no?
No. Okay. Carlos, don't ask that. But can I hold it? You'll reach this massive nuclear bomb-proof door. Durable enough to protect you from the biggest and deadliest bombs ever created. Whoa, wait, there's 2? And if all of that somehow wasn't enough, there's a second one right on the other side. If someone blew up a nuke out there and we were here,
We would be good. So this is what we call the welcome wall. This is going into the compound now.
does that say Space Force?
It does. You have Space Force here.
These are the 4 commands that operate outside of this bunker. And to ensure the complete safety for these elite world leaders, this bunker is also designed to survive something far less predictable than any enemy threat, Mother Nature. And it does so by literally floating. They carved out a gap between the mountain and the bunker, and then put the bunker on strings, so the shockwave of a nuclear attack or even an earthquake is completely absorbed.
Welcome to the most secure bunker on the planet.
All right, we've gone through massive blast doors, walked for an eternity. I can't even tell you how far because it's classified. To get here, the most secure place on the planet. Let's see what's inside. And now we are at the what?
The battle deck.
Am I allowed to show all this?
Everything except for what's on the right.
That's definitely not a UFO. But to protect North America from an airborne or maritime attack, this is where the leaders of NORAD would be calling the shots.
This is where our general sits.
This felt like the general seat. Can I sit in the general
Absolutely.
seat?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't touch anything.
I touched the chairs.
That's it.
Okay. I'm the general now. Tariq, ready the system. Yeah, sure. Did you actually touch something? You're not supposed to touch it.
Don't touch anything.
Tariq, they've only told us like 30 times not to touch anything.
We gotta make sure for real.
It was. Dude, he's gonna get arrested. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am actually so sorry. Tariq might have literally just got us kicked out.
Don't touch it again.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Tariq, these buttons can launch missiles, you know. What's on the other side of those windows?
You wanna clap?
No way. Really? I just clap?
Yep.
You all stop it! Eric showed us the secret command post at the heart of the bunker. Alright, where am I?
You're in the AJOP, Alternate Joint Operations Center.
And it's responsible for protecting the air and sea of the entire North American continent with an unknown aircraft. How many minutes until fighter jets are tailing them?
Less than 5 minutes. Then we're getting into some dangerous territory.
I can read between the lines. And because they're monitoring every potential threat, you know I had to ask. Any UFOs? Possibly. You can't answer? He's looking at the ground. Oh, never mind. Oh, different subject.
Got it there.
So, I finally got permission to film a hallway. Cool.
Take it all in. Now I need you to put the lens cap back on.
Really? Alright, I'll see you guys in the next room. While the number of people that work here is classified, I can tell you it has everything needed to keep hundreds of people alive for years at a time, including a gym, an underground grocery store.
Wait.
So many people work in this bunker that you opened a subway.
Correct. I'm about to have the most secure meatball marinara I've ever had.
It also has its own fire station. Yes, with fire trucks that drive on actual roads inside this mountain.
All right, hold up. Oh, let's not run with that.
No,
All right,
with that.
I got you.
They usually practice on dummies, but we brought one of our own.
They better save me.
He's unconscious. Slap him in the face. Get him out. Ow.
Sorry.
Lift me up. Sir, how would you say we did?
Probably a 4 out of 10.
That's because we didn't do enough CPR.
Some bunkers hide in backyard. And with enough money, hide under entire neighborhoods. Others go above and beyond and are so luxurious that they have their own water park. But none compared to this. An underground city with its own power grid, endless hallways, highways, and multiple lakes. Whoa. This bunker one day could be what defends North America and...
One last thing I need you to do. Cover the camera.
Before I do, can you say the U.S. military will hunt them down if they don't subscribe?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I tried. Thanks for coming out. You said America and humanity.
One last thing I need you to do. Cover the camera.
Before I do, can you say the U.S. military will hunt them down if they don't subscribe?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I tried. Thanks for coming out.
In my quest to watch every video game movie ever made, I just made it to one that I was really dreading. Boy howdy did it hit me like a brick. A punishment I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Watching the Assassin's Creed movie. I have a theory that most people that watch this film in theaters dumped it from their memories as a way of coping with the traumatic experience of watching something so criminally boring. I think as a defense mechanism, the human body voided the memory of this film's existence from a lot of people that were unfortunately subjected to its horrors. Now, the way I'm portraying it here makes it sound like it's one of the worst movies ever made.
This is what normal Pokemon Brilliant Diamond is like, and this is what it's like with mods. Since the Gen 4 remakes dropped in 2021, there have been hundreds of changes made by crazy talented community members. So I've crammed the best ones I could find into one package. A lot of people have been making videos on these projects recently, but if you're turning the game off after beating Cynthia, you're missing some of the best Pokemon content of all time. So to make sure I show you guys so much to see it on, so I dove head for a legendary Zoom ass advert and replay it, and it's like crazy to me that, hey, Jim met my party before. Hour 3 for math. Yeah, unfortunately, not at her job. What the fuck? Back to the distortion world. I fuck something with this guy. Come on, man. Sure. You could say that he gives me the item. What is this? After failing that a few times, I said, fuck it, I'm not going to do this right now, and I went somewhere else. I did some more searching on honey trees in the water, evolved some of my random Pokemon I caught, but never got a chance to use. I was reviving fossils. It was hours of non-stop action. But even then, I still needed so many Pokemon. There's just so much going on in this mod, man. Hour 57, I started another not-so-fun one, the Safari Zone. It's nowhere near as bad as the original games because these devs don't hate you, but it's still a motherfucker because I don't understand this minigame of throwing shitballs at everyone. My mood brightened a little bit though because I realized you didn't have to catch Asshole on top of Mount Coronet. You can just find him in this little corner and he won't kill himself. So that's good. Hour 58, I got one of the few happiness evolutions that are still in the game, Low Honey. She's actually super good in this mod because it's based off her Mega Form, so she's def one of my favorite Pokemon in this. Not like that, not like that.
Are you from London? I was born in London, buddy. What should we know about the city? It sucks. And it's totally changed, and I haven't seen it in 15 years. Why is that? Crystal. It's totally changed. I've had a guy come at me with it. And the cops were right there. They just let him move. And he went. And I'm going, I hope you die, mother.
London, Ontario has descended from Canada's music capital into a zombie city.
Hey, look around, bro. This is zombie land.
How did this happen? We went to find out. We ended up here only because our readers told us to. And upon entering the city, the story became obvious.
That right there, that was the third tube we've seen literally within 5 minutes of entering London, Ontario. So opposite all the people smoking, we have a nice little restaurant. Dystopia, maybe.
We headed downtown where more people were openly taking drugs than not. As bad as this was, it was nothing compared to what we'd see later, deeper in the zombie city.
I don't smoke that shit, but do I smoke some?
Everyone we met downtown seemed to be either angry or on drugs.
So my teenage years were spent down there, and it was a place that my parents would let me come downtown unattended. I would never let my daughter step foot down here unattended. Like, children coming on a bus couldn't get in for the kids and vagrants. You hear stories about, like, a lot of other cities bringing their homes here because of the programs and outreaches we have in London. Then we're overtaxed and overburdened.
The government, they give out free stuff to them. But that money's coming from somewhere. It's not coming from the homeless, that's for sure.
We're known as a tree city. The way it's going now, it's going down. All the stores are closing, and what the hell can you do? Downtown on a Friday night in the summertime, this place will be packed on both sides of the street. Not no more.
This downtown is just degraded from what it used to be. It wasn't empty businesses, it wasn't junkies and homeless people in a place like it is now.
I didn't see one homeless person when I was there 30 years ago.
Well, bro, my father was a serial killer, killed over 100 freaking women in this country, okay? You don't want to know about the city. It's a stab city. You guys are lucky to be alive. You're from the States. You're walking down the street right now. The city's terrible. I have 750 convictions. I'm from London City. I've been on and off here for 20 years. I got 11 kids, a wife, and a successful life. And I'm big since I was 15 years old. I left home at 12. Did my own things, stayed on the streets, and did what I had to do to survive. That's just hey, bro, how much is probably on the street every given day? A couple 100 pounds, easy, huh?
I don't know. Imagine fair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these guys are from the States, ain't no feds. I'm an OG. I'm an ex-gang leader. DFW Bloods.
Yeah. Why? Illuminati here.
Well, look around, bro. This is zombie land. Everybody's either addicted to or slinging it. Yeah, there's a news article out right now about them doing it.
Some people call it medicine. It actually expands the mind. Allows you to come up with different things you wouldn't come up with. What's going on over here? What people over there? They're probably doing medicine of some kind. Back about a year and a half ago, we tried to hijack a plane at Toronto Island Airport. Nobody's ever done it in Canada before. And because this is where it makes you want me to do it. Then it's $20,000. I can do what they do.
When we were talking, the ambulance came out to deal with potential. Success stories are few and far between. Yet some people do make it off the streets, like this man who beat
From the dead who are 50 years old, say they have mental disabilities now with their parents, and then their parents passed away, and they had a house, so they had to pay their mortgage money, right? Now they're out on the streets, and they got no money, and they like go to detox, and then they take it back out, and then how you supposed to feel clean when you don't have people to hang out with, you going back to hang out with the same people. I never got this point, like I was a functioning addict, like I had an apartment, I had a job, so it got to a point where I couldn't handle it anymore. I literally broke down. And I was like to my parents, and I was just like, I couldn't even lift a tire, like on a rim, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I've been lying to you guys. I can't, keep living this lie. There's so much hurt and stuff that people carry with them that you don't know. So actually, some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, they'll talk about stuff. If you respect them, they'll respect you. They'll honestly look at your shirt off the back and brush them you guys, but I swear to God.
That man told us that downtown was only a sample of London's crisis. To understand more, we need to head on to Dundas. We had no idea what we were getting into. Just a quick note about Road to News. My friends and I started this back in 2020 as a news parents reached.
Hey, we're here from the States. There's development in the city of London. A lot of drugs. Do you think it's worse here in London than other cities? How long have you been?
Yeah, we did.
Active theater right here. People are walking into this theater to go see like a play right now. And a couple of walkthroughs this year. This. It's truly upside down. I don't know another term for it. What do you see?
You're from London?
You're from London. One of the big things around right now.
I just, why do I do this? When you get ripped off.
How do you know you're getting ripped off with that?
I don't know. Your nothing's still out. You can throw it a little bit, bro. You got it.
How much space there?
Nothing. Got it?
Almost there.
Okay, I can put it in my car.
Yeah.
I was smoking at different. I do actually have a one.
How old are you? This like
17.
Have you been doing it for 15 years? Or did you ever
I don't know. I've been sober. I've been rehab anyway. You're in 17 years old, I was smoking. Well, welcome.
Oh, we just back. We gotta go to the city before it gets dark out. Let me make sure we're back.
Okay, wait for now. It is good. Nice to meet you. Like you said, got me to talk to them. By the time you get back to probably house. I don't want to struggle to get to there. There's one touchstone. That's it. And I lost everything. You lose your apartment and you end up on the street. That's as low as you can feel. So when people are coming up to you saying, hey, try this. This will make you feel good. You're down in the dumps. You're going to try it to feel good. And then it's better. My grandchildren are up in my apartment right now. Why? Because I don't want them to see this.
One side of this situation is the result of the housing crisis, and many locals blame large local real estate investors for snapping up property and driving up rents. Others blame the government system its policies and providing meetings, other paraphernalia, and drugs.
Hey, how you doing? Talk to you? Okay, so what motivates you?
It's not right.
We got to start with that. We got to be careful with criminalizing. We started with that pirate. We put someone in a ticket. We're going to put and then we're going to close the app and bring them back out here and give them, support. They went back to the same thing of what's going on. Can I get another one and maybe kind of that one?
Are you donating water?
Yeah. It's spring water.
I like collecting some water, right?
Just the water. Get up and get going because you got white kids, friends, full of life. You get up and we just do the same thing. It's hard not to. These are people. Where they start, you'll see and then sometimes man in wheelchairs wheelchairs and there's no
Just a block away, a beautiful neighborhood with lots of pickup needs.
I mean, it's a beautiful park. Family.
This lady is not alone. White Canadians spend the roads while immigrants move in. In the decade of 2021, the city population grew by 16%. The South Asian and Middle Eastern African population tripled, and the white population shrank by 10,000.
Years ago, we used to have a huge hospital up here, like Oxford Library. They closed that down. That was a long time ago. Unfortunately, that was just kind of just put into the wild. The increase in volume, what was happening is a lot of other cities were sending that issue here. A lot of people not necessarily from this community, or now all of a sudden just kind of being dumped in our lap, and it just kind of took off from there a little bit. This is going to sound awful, but we've pretty much kind of been a doormat for the city for those issues that you're driving by and seeing and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's not a district problem. It's not a community problem. It's a city problem. And we're all part of that city. So.
Are you from London?
I was born in London, buddy.
What should we know about the city?
Sucks. It has totally changed in, I'm going to say, 15 years.
Why is that?
Crystal. It's totally changed. I drank beer, though. If I had a new mayor and a new prime minister, maybe something would get done. I had a heart attack a month ago. Right? And I don't know if you know, but you lose a third of your body function. Good. But I'm not going to give up the beer. I'm not going to give up my cigarettes. If I die, I die. But this government has to be changed. And there's only one change to it. Is get rid of them all. You're not going to say anything. They'll vandalize your house. Well, we've had people try to break in a back door. I'm not doing it. I'm too old. I'm a 30-year-old guy. Right? And if I do, I'm going to take a baseball bat to him. And it's going to be gone. But it's bad. It's real bad here.
Gaza City being declared as a dangerous combat zone essentially marks the start of that expanded military operation that the UN, international aid organizations, and others have warned will make the humanitarian situation in Gaza even worse. Israel has called up 60,000 reservists for this operation that could last for some time. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the military action in Gaza City is necessary to defeat Hamas and also secure the release of the remaining hostages. And it comes
Disney Marvel have not had a great year, with Captain America Brave New World suffering massive drops and losing money, Thunderbolts losing millions despite great reviews, and Fantastic Four First Steps collapsing at the box office. Marvel need a win. Ever since Robert Downey Jr. got announced as Doomsday at Comic-Con, that movie had seemed to be Marvel's comeback. They were getting all the names, every cameo involved, make a big fuss about it, and then hope that they stay through to the next phase where they can reboot everything. The thing is, if this is your big and quite possibly last play that you're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on, to the point where this thing might take $1 billion to break even, you would think this would be planned within an inch of its life. It is so funny, you get the most talented people to be the most organised and have everything sorted so that you know you've got a guaranteed bang. Well, unfortunately, this is Disney Marvel and we have to deal with reality. And the reality is that Doomsday is in so much trouble just from its creation. This thing has more red flags than China. The article even pitches it as the next big movie sounds deep into filming without a finished script. Is that so unusual for the MCU? Not having a script is just scraping the surface of what this movie is and how it's being made. And the more you find out about it, the more you're wondering, how is anyone allowing them to make this movie this way? For instance, Alan Cumming has come out and said, I did the entire film in isolation. Lots of green screen, face replacement. They even gave characters fake names. And I don't know who I was acting with half the time. Even just from the actor's perspective, how are you supposed to do a good job in that kind of scenario? It's hard enough without sets, so you can't see your environment, to put you in character. And occasionally, yes, some movies, they may...
I'll be completely honest with you. I kind of stopped caring much for the zombie story when Black Ops 3 started. The idea of taking premise and sending them around through the multiverse just to kill off past characters and prevent every major event from zombies' history felt insulting and such a waste of... Rather than going in a new direction, the Blundell story from the Giants Revelations was just so totally different from what came before, but not in a good way. Because Mom of the Dead presented its story in a different way, but that worked. Here, the U3 story felt ridiculous and cartoony, especially when you literally introduce God and the actual devil as antagonists. It just chickened the whole lore and world building that, oh, it's no longer Group 95 and its competition creating the perk machines. God just dropped them all over the map. The points of power aren't manifestations of a little girl's mind because she sees this as a big, twisted game with her powers. It was secretly Monty helping us out because everything was meant to happen this exact way to keep a cycle going. You know, Blundell really just took the cycle idea from Mom and retroactively forced it into the entire story, even if it didn't fit. In my opinion, it was stupid. Taking zombies and making it something else that doesn't work. Now, with BO4 being this so-called cycle break, having the story go in a new and non-predetermined direction, people were curious as to where it would all be leading. We all were teased that it would culminate in the Great War.
What kind of war?
And like I said before, Tag is awesome. It's a great game. And from a gameplay perspective, it's the best in my opinion. But story-wise, ending-wise, I already made a whole video talking about my disappointment with it. And there are those who would argue or say this was the only way to end the cycle, to wrap things up and conclude the story. Even though that's absolutely ridiculous, there's no such thing as writing yourself into a box if you're good enough or creative enough. They could have absolutely come up with a better way to respectfully and satisfyingly end either saga than killing off every major character by having them unknowingly drink poison and choke to death in their sleep. Like, really? Are you kidding me? You're gonna do my OGs like that? Give me a break. And the supposed whole point of that insulting, character-disgracing ending was to create a new world, free from all the evils that corrupted the universe and created the undead. So Sam and Eddie could go and live in a world with no fears of the old one. That was why the writers said we had to kill off the Ultimates and Primus crews. That was the whole reason for all of this.
With Katie and the Black Ops 4, our characters sacrificed themselves to collapse the multiverse and try and create a singular world where zombies didn't exist. And they were half right.
And now they just threw it all away. What was the point of Tag's ending now? What was the reason for making a new world for the kids when one or both of them are just dead? Zombies constantly infiltrate the new world, and we have godlike entities that threaten everything again. The writing of the Dark Ether story has been one of the worst stories I've ever played in a video game, and I'm not kidding. In the way it's told, and in the actual story and plot itself. And, I mean, really? Bringing back the old crew? This just feels so cheap. This feels so artificial. I mean, for goodness sake, this feels like those times a slasher villain has been definitively killed, just for the writers to come up with a harebrained explanation to bring them back. And you know what it is? Money. That's why. Which is exactly what they did here. But we'll get into that in a while. Let's just break this down, shall we? This entire story isn't even a story at all. It's a bunch of disjointed, fake nostalgic teasers coming back for the next match. The world building is so uninteresting because it's forced into the Modern Warfare 2019 reboot world, so it has to stay in the confines of it. So everything that happens, no matter what, can only be self-contained dimensional breaches that after they're done leave no substantial impact on the world itself. Cold War, right off the bat, undercuts Tag's end. By having there be zombies in this new world, relief from the corruption. So already, that was for nothing. If there's still a way for zombies to happen. But Cold War's story fails because of the way in which it's told. Through intel and by the lack of main characters in play.
To operate the field, sites for itself on this new world's fiction.
Accessible on demand anytime. There's a lot to cover. I know what they're saying.
And so,
What made the story of World War evolve over time was as the maps went on, they had characters with dialogue, then main characters, then unveiled the plot surrounding them. If you play as random operators and have one or two characters that blabber on in your ear through a video, there's a disconnect from what's being told to you versus what you're actually doing. The best way I can describe it is that you're being told the story by someone else rather than you experiencing it through entirely player actions.
unfortunately, my time here was almost entirely on atomic research, but I heard stories, mysterious gateways, unnatural explanations.
I can't connect what's happening because there's over 3 layers of separation, from you to the operator to the character reacting to it over time. That's why every bit of dialogue is just constant exposition, and why it feels no one stuffed up.
Here we are, Ground Zero. Conventional is opening of round 4. Should have known it would come back to some evil Nazi experiment gone wrong. And Nazis lost control of experiment in 45. Did the Soviets really think they'd do better? Well, I think they suspected Ground Zero confirmed. The Nazis used the psychotrometers to breach during the war.
In the story itself, it's written and presented so blandly, no one even cares what's going on.
And find Agent Maxis. Recover any intel you can.
And when the entirety of the game's plot can be summarized in the first map's Easter egg song, you know, it's so light on actual story depth. Seriously, read the lyrics of Team alone. It actually just says the entire plot of Omega and what happens on Forsaken. And just having some random guy walking in the dark ether somehow come out being this conquering, godlike being who doesn't even share any personality or characteristic of his human self feels so abrupt and cheap. Because there has to be some kind of threat after we randomly introduce a new villain character at the ending cutscene of the second map just to have him be killed off in the next. And yeah, I know some stuff happened in Outbreak, but that's not it. It's objective-based garbage, and I'd rather do intentional Easter egg than play that trash. Overall story was boring. It was uninteresting, and the only reason Treyarch got anyone to care about where it was going was to pull one of the worst tricks in the book to get interest back in their by teasing everyone with old characters at the last second of the ending cutscene of the game. The literary equivalent of jingling keys in front of the audience's face. And that is exactly what the rest of the Dark Eagle story did. Not write an actual story with engaging characters or interesting ideas, but just jingle keys every match to get you to want to play the next one by stringing you along. It's actually insulting when you look at it. Oh, no one cares about the Vanguard story? Okay, jingle Alistair Rhodes and the Sentinel artifact in front of them, retroactively making the Chaos story canon to this new one.
It reminds me of when I studied the writings of Alistair Rhodes, an amateur demonologist and personal hero of mine. Rhodes wrote about different objects of power that he called sentinel artifacts. I was never able to find out exactly what they were. There was finds a relevance. I am quite certain I can use objects and trap artifacts exactly for sentinel relevance.
Which was an interesting idea and concept, but what do we do with it? Oh, we'll get to that this week eventually. Modern Warfare Zombies is absolutely bad. Everything wrong with Dark Eagle world building is here on full display. This entire citywide outfit is all no threat of a larger world being ended, and using Modern Warfare campaign characters to react to the game to tell you the story. And I mention that because so easy, meaning that this takes place before the pandemic campaign, because, well, it didn't take place after, and are there zombies, giant worms, and Dark Eagle storms swarming the planet in that game? No, they're not. This is the problem with having all your as where the story can go and what can actually happen. So there's no real threat. You know, the one thing all zombie media since the beginning of the genre has, the threat of a large-scale worldwide outbreak. Yeah, that can't happen because Treyarch is beholden to Infinity Ward's garbage campaign timeline. That's fun, isn't it? That means no maps like Moon, Mob, Origins, or Transit where the whole world is a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Because that wouldn't line up with Ben Shapiro's timing over here. And when you show all the Requiem crew dead in the intro cutscene, you just killed it. You killed any investment I had in those characters. Because I already know their fate. I know what happens to them. They end up dead around a table in some back room in whatever random Russian city this is. So now, BO6 Zombie's story has this looming over it, and can't go anywhere interesting. Was Sam saved from the Dark Ether? Where's Rick Huffman? Doesn't matter, because as of 2000, whenever this takes place, they're no longer relevant to the world as a whole. That's the problem with having an epilogue to your story come out before the second act. And with Chaos being retroactively placed at the beginning of this new timeline, you just completely threw all those map story under the bus. What happened to Scarlet or Diego? Where's the system? And what was that talk of the library of New Alexandria? What did any of that mean? Well, you know what it meant? Nothing. Because none of it is ever mentioned again. They just threw the Chaos story into this one with no actual care for its elements whatsoever. Again, just jingle keys with no thought. The Chaos maps take place 100 years before the events of MWZ. And what relevance does it have for them both being a part of the same timeline? And that ending for MWZ, all it was just another last-second teaser for BO6. No real reasoning for why Ava gets stuck into a portal to the past. All it is another gotcha to get you to buy the next game and hope you stick around, but give nothing in the form of real story development. Oh, and spoilers, it's never brought up in BO6 whatsoever. BO6 was teased, built up, and got people interested in Richtofen being back. That was all they had. What was he up to? What was his plan? All of this setup was the one thing about Terminus Island that I actually praised. because I thought the idea of combining chaos and dark ether would be cool if done right. They jingled the Sentinel artifact in front of me, and I fell for it, because the possibilities were endless of what you could do with it. Both Terminus and Liberty Falls served only as teaser maps to hook you, but reveal nothing new to the player. And that system of storytelling is exactly what makes the Dark Ether story so frustrating. Because really, when you think about it, there's no actual story here. It's just a sequence of maps where at the end, they tease you with a MacGuffin to collect and just give out one single bit of information to tease you for the next map. The actual plot is that Richtofen wants to use the Sentinel artifact because it has the power to bring people back from the dead, and he wants to resurrect his wife and child. When the entire plot revolves around bringing back dead characters that are first introduced to us as dead in the plot, who cares? The audience doesn't know Mary or Samuel, and this is just flat out told to us blandly in the cutscene before the boss fight on Shattered Veil. Again, just exposition. Nothing feels natural in the dialogue of the story whatsoever.
10 years since my wife and child were killed in a botched bid intended for me to burn my life in a fire set by an adept, one-eyed CIA assassin with help from his German colleagues. Francis and I killed your grandmother. Everything I had done. Exactly what it was. Stop. All trust to fix the murder. Bring Mary and Samuel.
And when looking back on it, it's a little ironic that the supposed threat is that the Sam AI wants to use the Sentinel artifact to reconstitute the real Sam's body and become her. Which I guess it can just do. Again, the Sentinel artifact just does whatever the writers want it to do. The Chaos connection only goes as deep as the Sentinel artifact is in the game, but not sharing any of the same lore or relevance it had in the original maps. It could have been any arbitrary item with lots of power, but it was the Sentinel artifact because jingling keys. Ooh, look, Chaos. Remember Chaos? Remember when we came up with actually original ideas instead of just repurposing them? Anyways, this plot point of the Sam AI replacing the real one, really ironic considering Activision refused to put in voice actor protections from AI slop, which they love to use, so the real actress for Samantha, along with Gray and Maya, quit. Yeah, they just said, F this, if you don't respect me as an actress and think you can just use my voice in the future with AI recreations, then I'm done. That's why the original Peck voice actor quit too. There's some seriously bad irony there. And when half the cast just leaves in the middle of the game's development, it really shows. These cutscenes just have so many characters standing around saying nothing. And it's so awkward and embarrassing. Because you know why. The actors just left. So you just have all these characters saying nothing and contributing nothing. And with all the in-game lines they've managed to record, we come to this dilution of just how many characters there are yapping all the time. Weaver, Carver, Gray, Maya, Peck, Strauss, Raptor 1, Ravnov, Sam AI, and by the end, Richtofen, Blanchard, and Panos. That's 12 characters. 12! Don't cry, Amazon fan. Uncle Trent's gonna give you enough characters to feed you your entire life. Houston, bring on the marble humor. This boy's hungry. Remember when it was 4 well-defined, memorable characters that talk story only at specific moments and not all the time, so you can actually get invested in them? And by the end, what happens? Like, half of them just disappear and don't have any lines at all. When looking back across the story from Cold War to this supposed conclusion, everything feels so small-scale and insulting to anyone that actually cared about anything going on. They reveal the original Samantha, the one who ended task, and the one that Sid forsaken away, is dead. Off-screen, in one line of dialogue in the first 3 rounds of Reckoning. Oops. Sorry, Nikolai. All that was for nothing. The sand just dies anyway, fighting off some entity created by the Dark Ether, the dimension you sent everything to. And Eddie? Well, depending on which ending you pick, he died too! Or say you suppose the big bad responsible for actually killing her? He's inside mini-boss chip and thrown away like a this guy, he's the announcer of all the drops, World War rT6 and FWG, somehow, even though he's now dead, which makes no sense. It's just prophesied. Real happy. The ending to rT6 is really an ending. It's just an arbitrary choice between two boss fights that leave no substantial impact on the world as a whole. Because remember, we don't understand what happened in the Requiem Crew, and what happened and neither is Sam at that point. So whatever ending you pick, does it even matter? See, this is what I meant when you have to have everything connected. And when you have your sequel come out before your actual plot, it kills any impact any of this could have had. Again, not that it really matters because Requiem just gets zapped away for no reason, and it gets the biggest slap in the face that made history in Pod Zombies. If you thought killing everyone off is bad, well, what's worse is bringing them back with no explanation or reason other than the jingle keys funny. This isn't a story. It's simply a hodgepodge of things from the past thrown on the screen in the hopes that it tricks you into caring. This is not a cohesive story with a purpose, with an expanded world, an interesting world that people make deep dives into, like they used to over 10 years ago. This is slop, regurgitated garbage. What was the point of any of this if you're just going to undo it? And you know, when Tag ended and all the actors got together to share their memories of voicing those characters for a decade, it was a heartfelt and bittersweet thing. Learning to let go is important. Nothing lasts forever, nor should it, because if it does, it'll just dilute more and more until it's a parody of itself. And furthermore, after this ended, Tom King, voice actor to play Takio, as well as countless other memorable voice roles like Yoda from Clone Wars, he suffered a debilitating stroke in November of 2020, which damaged his speech center, the ability to speak, read, and write, unfortunately. So, with the OG 4 characters gone, it felt even more right not to bring them back, as one of the main 4 couldn't even return if he wanted to. And then they do this? This is insulting to me. And it's going to stop. Because what will they do? Recast Takio to be some crappy sound-alike, just like they did with Sam? Entirely replace him with an AI voice with just stitched-together dialogue? Or recast everyone? Any way you look at it, it's insulting. It's disrespectful. And it doesn't need to happen. This story is so bad, it's so poorly told, and it's so uninteresting.
Bleachers here, and I'm back with another video. This time I need to discuss what happened yesterday because I don't think people know exactly what happened yesterday.
Unfortunately for me, or maybe fortunately for you guys, I am what you call a nerd. I can't just leave stuff alone if there's some sort of friction or something doesn't sit right or something doesn't make sense. I have to figure it out. I have to solve the problem, right? You stick a Rubik's Cube in front of me, I'm not going to stop until I solve it. Most of the time. Even if I have to just move the stickers around and like that. The point is that I found out something, and I think you guys need to know about it because it coincides with how the community is feeling, but also this kind of new movement going around where people are fighting back finally. Everyone's kind of sounding like me and how I've sounded for the past several years. It's weird to see, but hey, better late than never. Without further ado, though, I want you guys to do me a solid and just leave the channel support comment. This video was amazing. It learned a lot. Maybe drop a like rating on this. And I don't know, I just want to get this stuff out there for everyone to see exactly who we're dealing with. Even the TikTok brains that tell me to shorten my videos or get to the point. How about you use the fucking timestamps, you fucking moron? It's like walking into a bathroom filled with toilet paper, you drop a trowel, you do a number 2, and then you complain that I'm not coming in there and wiping your ass. You got timestamps, you got chapters. I laid it out for you. Anyway, I'm not here to complain about that. But I am here to talk about some meat and potato business because, quite frankly, viewer, I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So before I cover this movement going around here, not the bowel movement that is Black Ops 7, but this movement of the community against Call of Duty, I should probably show you the straw that kind of broke the camel's back here. Their announcement, where they said carry forward would not be happening, got half the community happy and half the community very upset. I am one of the people that is upset because regardless of these stupid, cringy virgin skins, it's anti-consumer not to have this. The issue here was that we just didn't want to see them. If you're going to sell them, you can do that, but have a filter where you can just turn them off so people that don't want to see them won't see them. The people that do want to purchase them can still purchase them and live out their fantasy of being a giant chinned cartoon in a military shooter set in the fucking 90s. Alright? Everyone wins that way. Everyone wanted that. I mean, to the point where it was posted on Reddit. Why the fuck didn't they do this? I mean, just take a look at this. This really says it all. This guy on Reddit says, why not add a default skin toggle? This is what everyone was asking for. They weren't asking for carry forward not to be a thing. They were asking for the option to have a grounded, cohesive thing, and then everybody kind of wins. Why not add a default skin toggle, though, this guy says? I'm a bit confused why Treyarch jumped to removing all carry forward plans instead of adding a default skin/milsim skin toggle. Instead, we're receiving the worst of both worlds, where we get less content for Black Ops 7, maps, camos, operators, and guns, and we'll likely see wacky bundles during the game's lifespan. Look at the Vault Edition skins. Seems like an overreaction from Treyarch when a simple solution could exist. This person says, lack of carry forward is only being done to push for reused bundles and lazy season drops. Let's be real, it isn't to preserve some aesthetic they've ditched for years in the making. Now they could give 2 names less. All those ugly bundles for the money, and I doubt they'd stop racking in whatever income they could now. Just like MW, just like BO6, we're getting a serious grounded aesthetic till I see Bender or Peter Griffin in Black Ops 7. This is all an excuse to resell $30 bundles that went nowhere in BO6 while finding a way to be as lazy as possible each season so they can drip feed us old content and make the brain-dead vocal bunch get hyped that the PPSH is coming back for the millionth time. And I mean, this goes on and on with example after example on Reddit on why this is a bad idea. This guy's pissed that he can't use the replacer, which I think fits the Black Ops universe, whether it's future or past. It's Peter Stormare, it fits. The John Black Ops skin, while humorous, still fits. That's the kind of silly people want when it comes to Call of Duty. They don't want to see Beavis and Butthead. They don't want to see Seth Rogen in a pastel, multicolored suit. Nobody fucking knows who Bluntman and Chronic is because most of the player base are either 60-year-old dads that never watched that movie or 10-year-old children anyway. So, like, I don't know who this stuff is for. I don't know what they're doing. As far as I can tell, they're just taking IPs and crossovers that Fortnite did not want and trying to get Fortnite people to come to Call of Duty, but it just makes them look like, again, Fortnite's creepy uncle that has a problem with his hand size and sees no problem with calling their in-game currency CP. So there's that. But let's move on here. Let's cover some more stuff real quick. We'll come back to this topic a little bit later, but I need to show you this particular image right here. This made the rounds on Reddit and really took off. Call of Duty belongs to us. We demand better. This is huge. This is the craziest thing I think I've ever seen the community do. And I just want to say, I'm proud of you guys. I really am. This is what I've been saying for a long time. As a lifelong Call of Duty fan, I have seen greed run rampant. It's always been pretty bad with Call of Duty or anything Activision Blizzard related. But in the past 5 or 6 years especially, they have sold out. They have completely abandoned the people that made their franchise popular and started catering to ultra casuals, little Timmy, dads on their 60-inch TVs, and Fortnite rejects. And it's finally bitten them in the ass, and we are fighting back tooth and nail. I'm going to cover the details of the thread where this image was posted. I'm going to cover more things that no one's really talked about, but Activision Blizzard are kind of getting held up here. Like, they're kind of getting threatened, blackmailed, so to speak. We're going to cover all of that after a brief word from this video's sponsor, Sky Coach. Today's video is sponsored by Sky Coach, and this is a real thing that happened to me. I just was not able to play the Battlefield 6 beta as much as I wanted to. I just did not have time. Getting older, I have more responsibilities than ever, and I'm just busy. And get to it right. People want reduced SBMM. I would argue I want just no EOMM, which is worse than SBMM, and don't know what that is. Search that phrase on my channel after you're done with this video. You'll be shocked. But anyway, reduce SBMM, end lobby disbanding, legacy UI option, make ping king again, cosmetic filter, launch with content. Goes on to say, without the players, there is no Call of Duty. We make this franchise what it is. We can break it. We demand better. That last sentence there, we can break it. We're going to come back to that in just a second because I think they did do that yesterday. And no one's really talking about it. But regardless, these are very, very fair demands, and you might be thinking, well, this probably didn't get a lot of traction, right? Bull fucking shit. Feast your eyes on this beautiful number. This got over 4,000 upvotes on the Black Ops 6 subreddit, and I should really, make this clear. The Black Ops 6 subreddit is dead as shit. I mean, it's pretty fucking dead, guys. I mean, Call of Duty as a whole is pretty fucking dead right now. We'll probably cover that later, too. But regardless, as you can see here, over 4,000 upvotes, one of the most upvoted threads in the last several months. Enough is enough. If they can address an issue like carry forward, they can address everything else plaguing the series. Apply pressure while they're down. The fundamentals are missing, and nostalgia isn't enough. COD used to set the standard. Now it's stuck chasing trends. That should be the fucking tagline for the series nowadays, honestly. Flood their communication channels with this message. Demand a return to the series' roots. Edit. A lot of people are saying, don't buy it then. That's my intention. I don't plan on buying it unless these issues are addressed. The point is there's nothing to lose from trying, and if enough players apply pressure, like with Carry Forward, the devs might have to take notice. I applaud you. I really, really do. In fact, I am right there with you. I am a Call of Duty YouTuber, and I'm not giving these motherfuckers a cent come the release of Black Ops 7. I have a free Game Pass trial, which I will use to make one single video reviewing the game, and that's it. I don't think I'm even going to play the beta because I have to pre-order to get early access anyway, and I honestly just don't give a fuck. Like, honest to God, guys. I am checked out. I am not one of those people that plays the game, complains about it, and makes a video. But guys, when is the last time I posted Black Ops 6 gameplay? Hell, I talked about the beta, how the shit made me nauseous with all the going overboard bobblehead effects going on. Why would I play that trash? I didn't even make it to the max level in multiplayer because the game is so ass. When I said in my initial review of Black Ops 6, this is one of the worst games I've ever played in my fucking life, I wasn't blowing smoke up your ass. And you can find that video on my channel. I know what's good and what's bad. I've been doing this too fucking long, and I'm not trying to steer you in the wrong direction. I don't say things to hear myself talk. I speak the truth as I see it. I want to cover what happened yesterday because that whole we can break it thing, I think something happened that Call of Duty tried to sweep under the rug because I can see no other reason for what happened yesterday happening by their own hand. Check this out. Call of Duty servers are experiencing issues across all games on all platforms right now. And experiencing issues is putting it lightly. Every single Call of Duty title that had an online